We're in the house, been in the house for a while now. I've gotten a bit of carving done. I started out with these panels here. I got two of them, and these are going to be my caps. These are the ones that are going to get cut down to about 3.5-inch strips with beveled edges on them. I got those carved. All I had to do was the grout lines. It didn't take long. And before we get any further, we've got a Kaylee on camera. We just got done. I took a break. We went outside and we played for a little while, and I got her all tired out. Now, and I did want to make a correction on the flagstone pattern, the set that I just finished up today. Carving, I actually got my phone out, set the stopwatch, and carved a panel. I was a little off on my time frame. It took almost 3 hours, just a hair under 3 hours to do one of those panels. Okay? So it took a while to do, what was it, 23 of them? Took a while. Now, today, like I said, I got the caps done. I've been working on the first one. This is what I'm referring to as the blank or the brick pattern that goes in between each of the flagstone patterns. I've carved the grout lines, similar or the same as I did on those. Small, they're not the wide grout lines like on the flagstone. That would have more of a brick pattern. That was my deepest cut, and I backed the bed out, did the face of the bricks and the slash marks on the on the other half of the pillars. I have not done the sanding yet. Now, to just carve what I've gotten carved on this panel took 1 hour and 40 minutes. It took exactly, what do I want to say, 20 minutes roughly. Not even that, about 15 minutes to do the grout lines. The rest of the time was doing the face of the brick. That took a while. Now I gotta go through and do a sanding on it, and I think what I'm going to do, because this one is going to be getting, the brick on this is going to be getting heat treated, is my thought. I'm going to go through and do just a light sanding on it. I want to see some of these gouge marks in the face of the brick, so I go through and heat treat it. The heat will actually make the foam react a little bit differently because it'll be getting trapped in some of these gouges. I don't want a heavy damaged area like I get on my brick pattern for the water room. I want, a little bit lighter, but I do want some damage reflected on these. I'm expecting probably about another 40 minutes for the sanding, roughly. I'll know better once I get it done. But anyway, that's where we're at now. We're getting started on these, and I'm hoping by sometime next week to have these done, and we'll be moving into paint, hopefully. Okay, carving is done, and we're back outside again. I'm on the patio at the moment. Wanted to show you that, and I don't know how much detail is coming up out here. Excuse me, with these unpainted. But carving is totally done. I showed you these earlier, the flagstone pattern. This is the brick pattern, and if you noticed, I did part of the pillar here. So when these are butted up against each other, it'll be 4-inch gap or a 4-inch pillar. So we got that done. Now these are out here, and sorry, I'm battling the wind. The wind's wanting to blow the panels. Okay. But we're ready for heat treating now. Now on this set here that has a flagstone, aren't going to do any heat treating to the flagstone. Flagstone's staying just as it is. However, the pillars are going to get heat treated, and I'm probably going to use a fine mist of water in my heat gun on the pillars. The brick, on the other hand, is also going to get heat treated, and I'm going to use a little bit coarser of a spray so the heat treating on the brick looks different than the pillars. That's what we're getting ready to do now. We're into heat treating. Suanne update. She's doing fine. It's been, let's see, tomorrow will be 2 weeks since she's had her surgery. Last weekend was our first market, and she took it easy. She spent most of the time sitting on a stool. And my panel just fell over. Anyway, sitting on a stool doing sales. She didn't do. I didn't allow her to do any lifting or hauling or anything. She was able to lay down on last Saturday, June 1st. Take about an hour nap while we were at the market. And then on Sunday she got almost a 2-hour nap in. So, let's see, what was it? What's today? Today's Thursday. On Tuesday, this week, was the first day she had been able to go out walking with me and Kaylee. I take Kaylee out every afternoon for about a mile or so, and we walk a loop. She actually made it out. We went fairly slow. Kaylee didn't like going slow, but we went fairly slow. But she got in and got a walk in. So she's pretty much on the mends. Just going to take time, and every day she's getting a little bit better and better. Okay, with that, back to work. At the end of the day, we've made some pretty good progress out here. I've been working on heat treating. So far, I've got all the flagstones are done. There's 23 of those. I got the 2 cap pieces, which is behind that panel, done. And that panel there, I've got 14 more to do. Which is going to have to wait till Monday because I got to get in and get the rest of my stuff together because we're on the road tomorrow with work. So, and that's going to take a couple hours to get paperwork and everything else done. So, I'm going to have to call it quits. Monday when we're done running our errands, I'm going to get back in. I've got 14 of those to do, which is that pattern there. We'll get those done. We'll get the table saw drug out, and it'll take probably about a half hour to get all my 2-foots and the caps cut. Hopefully by Monday evening we will be into paint, starting out as usual with a base coat of white, and then we'll start adding the colors and stuff to it. With having about 3.5 days to build, I'm looking probably 8 days to get the painting done. Less, I hope, depending on weather, and time and all. So, on to the next segment, which will be, for me, 3-4 days away. Oh, heat treating's done. I got one other step to do, and I figure I'd show you what they look like heat treated. I think it was last segment, you got to see what they looked like after they were carved. Here's what they look like heat treated. And the wind's fucking with them as usual. Zoom in close. With this panel here. Okay, they're not going to cooperate. Having a good laugh? Timber. So we are going to do this differently. I'd rather have them set up, point out what I did, but they don't want to cooperate because there's a slight breeze blowing, and if he's not attached to anything, they're falling all over the place. But anyway, on the flagstone, the only thing I heat treated was the arch going all the way around, and I left the skulls unheat treated, so that should stand out a little bit more. On these, on the other hand, this is the other half of the pillar, so when they match up, it'll be the same thickness as it is up there, 4 inches. I did a little bit differently on the brick. Now when I heat treated the archways, I spritzed it with water, ran the heat gun over it. With this, I did not use any water. It's just straight heat gun. And when you're using straight heat gun, you gotta move it, fairly quick, or you'll burn a hole right in the foam. And it caused it kind of beveled the edges of the brick a bit, and it also widened up my grout lines. Now if you notice over here, this whoop-de-doo, and I've got some of it over here, what caused that was overspray from when I was doing the pillar. I could have got rid of it by wiping it and letting it dry and then coming back and heat treating. I didn't feel like doing that, and it does give it kind of an aged look. So heat treating's done. I've got one last step to do in here. I've got those 4 panels out there along with these in here. I got another flagstone, another brick, which I need to cut down the center to turn these into 1-foot panels. I also have 2 sheets here that I did that I'll be cutting into about 3 to 4 inch width to do my cap pieces. I've got to get them cut, and it's going to take, between setting up the saw, table saw, and then cleaning up afterwards, probably about an hour to get them cut. So tonight I should be able to get at least half the panels with their base coat on, I'm hoping, and then do the other half tomorrow. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to get them all done, all the base coating done today, because it's getting nice and warm. It's supposed to be up in the 90s tomorrow, so shit's going to dry quick. But anyway, let's get to it. Well, welcome to Thursday evening. We've had, well, I want to say it's beautiful weather. It's been up in the high 90s here. Yesterday was up in the high 90s. Monday and Tuesday it was up in the mid 80s. It wasn't so bad for working out here. Made it nice because of the paint. Everything, dried quick. So we got quite a ways. Problem was it was up near almost 100 degrees. I think it was 96 yesterday. I spent from 7 a.m. till 10:30 last night out here painting. And my body's not adjusted to heat yet, and I am feeling it today. Being Thursday night, we're on the road with work tomorrow. I do have stuff in the house to do. So I'm calling it quits for this week. As to what we got done, we got a lot done. We started out with the white, got everything coated in white. I came back through, did the grout lines. Well, actually, hold it. No, I did the white, and then I sprayed the gray on for the pillars on all the panels. Then I came back through and did the grout lines. Today, we've had a lot of errands to do. I didn't get out of here until after 3 o'clock. But we still got 14 panels here with the gray on it, and they need some touch-ups. I ended up rolling it, so I couldn't get right up near the edges here. So I'm going to have to come back through by brush and go through and cut that in by brush, because I can't get a roller in there, and the grout lines need to be touched up. But that's down the road and next week. What I want to do is get all those panels to this condition, and then once they're at this condition, I can sit down, go back through them all, and we'll touch up that spot. There's some gray here and there on the grout lines that need to be touched up, and we're close to being done. That's going to be next week. And we got a Kaylee in here who's been having fun out in the sprinklers this evening due to the heat. She doesn't like it when it's hot out here, but she likes the sprinklers, and she's wet. But as to rolling, I'm taking a ball out of Jana's and Chris's, aka Hollywood Haunters techniques, and I'm using what is a sponge roller, which is really, really nice. It keeps you on the surface of things unless you goop it up too much, and then it will run into the finer spots. But that's what I'm doing my rolling with. The light gray is going on the field, and then I'm using the dark gray to touch up on these sections here. So it's just a matter of going over each panel and rolling it. So hopefully Monday, after we are back in town, get our errands done, I'll get out here. We'll continue on with that light gray, and we'll go through and get everything with the light gray on it that needs light gray. And as I said, after all the light gray's on, I'll sit down by brush, do final touch-ups on them, and this part of the pattern will be done. This one, though, after we get the touch-ups on, I'm going to try a faux finish on it. Again, drawing back to some stuff I've seen Jana and Chris, Hollywood Haunters, do. I gotta go down and pick up the supplies I need for that. We're thinking about using a sea sponge and just doing a kind of a stamp technique over the flagstone panels to, you know, kind of break it up. And we'll have to see how it looks. I don't know what's what yet on that. That's for next week. Well, it's Wednesday, and I haven't been grabbing the camera much because I haven't had much to show you. But I reached another milestone. All the panels are painted and touched up. I'm in here in the shop, so I don't have much room to back up and give you a good distance. Too windy outside. We're down to our last two steps. This pattern here, the brick, is done. I have nothing else further to do with it. So that's half the project done. This pattern, on the other hand, I've got two other steps I'm going to do. And Morgan's actually going to be helping me on this if we decide to do one of the steps. But the first one of the steps is the skulls up here. I need to get the eyes and the nose. I'm not going to do the mouth, just the eyes and the nose on each corner. So I've got the 2 foots to do on that and 6 1-foots to do. Each one of them I only have one skull. The other one is we went and bought some sea sponges, and we're going to try doing a faux pattern with a different color of paint over the flagstone on here. And Morgan wants to help with painting. She's been bugging me all winter, so I figured this would be a good one that we can have fun with. And we're going to do up one panel, see if we like it. If we don't, I'll just repaint the gray. And we'll go as is. One thing I am finding, I used 3 colors when I painted this. I had the dark gray, a light gray, and the black. Now this color gray here, I don't know if it's showing up on camera. Looks like a lighter gray than what's over here on this. And it's actually the same gray. I didn't add anything to it. The only difference I can think of is these were sanded and heat treated differently than these. So it's causing the paint to look different because the texture of the surface is different between the two. But this one actually looks darker than that one. Put them side by side like that. And that one does, even on my view screen on the camera, looks lighter. Other thing too I wanted to chime in on. Last Sioux update. This vlog has had a lot of them in it. I thank you for sticking with the vlog because I know it's a long one. But this will be the last Sioux update. She's going into her week 4 of her recovery time. We've got a doctor's appointment next week, you know, after surgery checkup and everything. It'll be 4 weeks, and she's doing good. Only problem we're having right now is she's chafing at the restrictions. Most of the restrictions have been lifted except for the weight one. She can't pick up, twist, bend, or basically carry anything more than 15 pounds, which is a bitch around the house. She can't, you know, get the laundry down to the washing machine because that weighs a little bit more than 15 pounds. You know, she can't empty the trash, you know, and then it precludes her from doing quite a bit in the booth too when we're overworking. And she's really, really chafing, and we've been butting heads the last week or so over it. But I'm forcing her to stick with it until the doctor says different. Well, we have an appointment on Tuesday, and we'll talk to the doctor about it. But she's pretty much right back to her regular self, regular like she was about 10 years ago. Only nasty thing that we're going to have happen is once the restrictions are lifted all the way. Usually the first 3-4 weeks of the market, we don't have much stock because there's just not that much growing yet. So we don't take that much over. And it gives our bodies a chance to get used to being back, you know, and doing the routine after being away from her for several months. When she gets off of restrictions, we'll be getting into the corn, just getting ready to get into watermelons and corn and all the heavy shit. So she's going to get broken in with that. She's going to have a lot of sore muscles. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. But she's not looking forward to that. But anyway, that's the last Sue update. She's doing just fine. Should be a couple of more segments coming naturally. I'll be giving you a final look, you know, set with the panel set up like this after you know, the project's all done, and then we'll show you some of the progress with the faux painting that we're going to do too. So, okay, project is finished, and it's Thursday night. I'm going to try to get this edited and uploaded tonight, the vlog that is. And I figured I'd give you a look and kind of go over what we did. Now, things went a lot quicker today than I thought. A lot of it due to Morgan. Morgan came out and helped me do this pattern here on the flagstone, and we did a faux look to it. Originally in the last segment I showed you it was basically that color gray. Found a darker gray that was a little bit different tint than what's on the pillars. So we put some out, and we took one of these. It's a sea sponge. Got these down at Michael's. Got a bunch of them. And we just dipped it in the paint and then went and pressed it on. And Morgan helped me do that. And it went real quick. And yes, I know things are kind of wonky. We got a breeze blowing again tonight. And these things aren't attached to the wall, so they're blowing. And then after we got the faux paint job done, I came back through, we touched up the grout lines, and I went and did the eyes and nose on the skulls on all the panels. And they're done. Finished. So, don't have time tonight, and I'm not doing it with the wind blowing. Though the wind is calming down a little bit. But they gotta get put away, and I'll do that on Monday when I get home. Then, we're gonna get in here in the shop, and I gotta go through and give it a good cleaning. Always clean up between projects. Speaking of projects, I'm running out of time. Don't have the time to do what I originally planned. Originally, I was gonna go through all the wall panels, maintenance them, you know, make up some new ones to replace ones that have been too damaged to use, and what have you. Effectively now, we've gotten 4 sets done, and I've got 1 new set made. So that's the Pirate Displays, the first new new item for the haunt this year. That still leaves me 4 sets to go, and I don't have time to do them. If I'm lucky, I might get in and get 1 more set done. I don't know. But we, for the next vlog, are going to switch gears. I've got 2 brand new props I want to build for the haunt this year. I've been thinking about doing over the last couple of years. I'm doing them this year. They're next on the docket, and it ain't going to take me a month to do each of them. Probably a week and a half to 2 weeks. So you'll have some quicker vlogs coming in. There's some maintenance vlogs I definitely need to do. Like, okay people, as you notice, things kind of cut off. I didn't realize when I was shooting the last segment for the vlog that the battery on my camera had died. So, you lost a little bit of that. What I was trying to get to is we're switching over from wall panels into building some new props and a couple emergency maintenance type things I need to do. Setup with the haunt is fastly. That's not even a word, fastly, but it's coming up on us fairly quick. We start setting up the haunt September 10th, I think it is what we've got slated this year because of work. So we're going to switch gears, do some maintenance stuff, and a couple of new props. So past that, we're going to say goodnight. Wanted to thank you for sticking with the vlog. I know it's a 2-part vlog. Grand total is going to be around 48 minutes altogether that you've sat here and watched it. So, thank you for sticking with it, if you stuck with it and watched the whole thing. Hope you had a beer on me. Stay spooky. Stay toxic.